navigator give me a course and distance to Bridlington, please?
Land here, Bridlington 115 degrees, 38 miles.
Skipper, there's a Lancaster at 10 o'clock low, crossing left to right 2 miles.
Roger, I see him. Looks like a Canadian climbing out of Eastmore. Keep an eye on him, Pete.
I was navigator on the Halifax Mark III, a wonderfully tough aircraft. I remember an instance where, coming off target, we took some flak, and yet we got back safely to England.
The first time I met Alfred was at the Boomerang Club at Australia House to do some voluntary work in the canteen. I at the time was working at the BBC and did shift work because we were on a radio newsreel and we had to work late at night sometime.
Yes, I remember seeing this bird on the till.
And asked me if I'd like to have lunch with him the next day. And I looked at him and I liked his eyes and I said, yes, that'll be all right. So I made an appointment to see him the next day. However, the next day came and I went to the club. The arrangement was 12 o'clock. I went to the Boomerang Club, sat in the chair, read the paper. 2 o'clock came, no Alfred. So I thought, all right, that's it. Off I went. I went back home. When I got home, the phone rang, and it never stopped ringing till 11 o'clock, asking me to forgive him for being late and so on. So I did. And then I met him the next day. And 6 weeks after that, we were married.
Wow.
Is that quick enough?
I'll certainly remember the wedding day for 2 reasons, peaches and cream. What had happened when back at the squadron, when the news had spread that I was getting married, they'd saved from their parcels, comfy parcels, they'd saved peaches and cream, and the guests were astonished when this was served to them. It was it made the day.
After the wedding, we went down to Guildford in Surrey for a 3-day honeymoon and stayed at the hotel that was there in Shakespeare's time, and I've forgotten the name of it now. But it was very nice. He's my friend, we thought they'd never end.
My name is Ross Wheeling. I'm Alfie and Doris's older son. A little bit about Dad's sporting activities. Dad, as a young man, was very sporty. He played all the major football codes, NRL, Union, AFL and soccer, competitively. He was also a very good squash player, an A-grade tennis player. In later years, he was a champion bowls player, and I could never beat him at snooker, so there wasn't much of his sporting life that I didn't know about and didn't enjoy.
We were married in September, and we'd heard nothing about getting to Australia, and so in the end, myself with a lot of other young would-be brides met at Parliament House and saw the minister there, and said, why aren't we given a ship to take us to see our husbands? And the same thing happened here. Alfred went to see his local member, and they got a plane, between the two of them, they got the Stirling Castle ship, and we left England then in May, and we got here in June. Took us 6.5 weeks, I think.
Dad flew Stirling and Halifax Mark III bombers in his 36 missions, which is pretty incredible when you think they were basically cloth-covered, wooden-framed aircraft. He was a navigator, and obviously a very good one. He was also involved in the last wave of the mass bombing over Cologne, which virtually broke the back of the German resistance, because that bombing took out the Ruhr Valley, which was the German industrial might.
I can't remember how much I told Doris about this, or how I didn't tell her. But then I didn't tell her about the first crash landing was with a Sterling, and the second one was with a Sterling a bit ancient for that time. But the next one was a Halifax, and it was the Halifax Mark III, a wonderful aircraft, tough and as good as they come.